Again, thank you for showing up if you are in the consulting world already, or if maybe you got one foot in there, because it's really helpful to hear other people's experiences that go through this journey, because we are, a lot of us do start off as in the consulting world because we're looking for something full time and trying to find something else. So I'm really glad that we've got Marilyn Haywood Page here to talk about it, because as she was telling me offline as we got in here, because she's been through this before several times, several different job folders for as the years go on, and eventually she realized, hey, you know what, I'm a consultant. So we'll get into that in just a couple minutes. Let's get into some announcements here. One of the things that helped us get to know you is what you put in the chat. Sorry, not on my normal rig today. So tell us in chat, what have you found most effective in your job search? All right, so something that's going to work for you may not work for someone else, or it may work much better than what they're trying. So please, go ahead and share that information, and that'll help. Now, if you're new to the ICN, or if you just want to know who's behind it, these are all the folks behind it. This is how we can do a fee-free community, is through volunteer power, through all these folks who put anywhere between 5 to 10 hours a week into supporting the ICN and supporting you through our research, through our marketing, through our through these events, and it's just an exciting group. So thank you so much for everybody who volunteers. It's all volunteer power, including all these organizations who help us on a volunteer basis too. We have yet to take any sponsorship, but we will certainly take their guidance. And that's what all these groups have done for us. And we continue to add folks. Now I will point out MRX Pros down there. It's another fee-free volunteer-run organization, and they do events every Tuesday, meetups every Tuesday. So if you're looking to meet more people, go to mrxpros.org or .com, you can find them, okay? ICN is hopping. We just crossed 2,000 members. Where is it? Hold on. We just crossed 2,000 members, and I believe we've had a good 20 jobs posted in our Insights job referral list down there in the right corner. In the last 30 days. Now, those are where people have come in and said, maybe this job is public, maybe it's not. Sometimes it's unlisted, but they're going to tell you a little something about what's important to apply for that job before you do. So go check out that list. It's at insightscareernetwork.org or one of these QR codes. Keep following us. If you're not a member of the LinkedIn group, I'm really encouraging you to do that, because it's for members only, and it's the only place where members can talk to one another. So you'll find jobs there. You'll also find it's the only place where we put the Zoom link online, apart from your email box. And we also put in discounts and exclusives that we get from our other partners. So make sure you're joining that group, okay? And if you haven't refreshed your profile, you've been out there looking for a job for a while and maybe over 90 days, make sure you're on that Active Insights job seekers list if you want to be found, and update it with something new that says where you've been and what you've been doing. Check out, again, insightscareernetwork.org for more than 55 decks from the last couple of years and recordings that are all around the same idea of trying to help people through career transition. I want to pause and celebrate the success of a few folks a few ICNers who came through and recently got their new wings. So Raina Rusnak just posted this morning, I think it was, or 2 days ago, it looks like she just joined Starkist. Aditi Agarwal Tandon, she got a new job. Nico Baumbach in the San Francisco Bay Area, he got a new role. And then Will Gordon, who was out there for a good while before snagging this job with Audience Alliance. So congratulations to those guys. If you're here, thank you. Thank you for coming, and please pay it forward as you're out there working. Now, I'm not sure if we have Randy. Randy, do we have you here?
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Come on up. Tell us something about the what's going on with research on research these days.
Okay, well, we're on. We have already wrapped up, as many of you know, the hiring manager, executive recruiter, and talent acquisition portion of the hiring study. We are fully underway now with the second phase of the hiring study, which is the seekers. We've completed most interviews at this point, and we're continuing them this week, and we're in the analysis phase. So If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of this page, we are looking to share these results with you on the 7th of next month. That's where we're at.
Thank you, Randy. So yeah, and thanks again to our technology partners. We're deep into Vox Pop Me right now as we're analyzing these interviews. Great partner to have. And then Reach 3 will begin with them on the quantitative phase, which will happen next month. We do have a QR code up here for you. If you've been looking for work for a while, we want to get you onto our list so that we can follow up with with this research or another research study, because we're going to keep asking these questions as we go along, and we've got great partners to help us do that. I think Melanie, were you going to take care of events today? Oops.
I am.
Welcome, Melanie Sokol. She's our VP of Education Events.
Hi, everyone. I know you're seeing either Sarah or Karen, and both of them are not available to join us today, so you get me. But thank you to Sarah for updating this. As you can see, we've got a bunch of local events this month from both WIRE which is Women in Research, if you're not familiar, and Insights Association. So encourage you to check those out. Several of them are free. Coming up, and we'll talk about this one a little bit more in a second, is the Corporate Research Conference this week. And I know we've got several people that are joining from ICN. So we'll talk about how we can connect everyone there. Also is IIEX AI. I want to say EIEIO after that. It's a mouthful. That one is virtual and it's free for the live sessions. There is also a intensive insights and analytics session, which is $95 to attend. I believe it's the day before, but that one's virtual. Also virtual coming up on September 25th is Quirks. That is on DIY research and that is free as well. And then IIEX Latin America and the market research event, which is one of the big ones, is in Orlando on October 8 to 10. And also just a reminder, I'd encourage you, MRX Pros has some great events and always free training from learners online, and feel free to check out the links.
Thanks, Melanie. And Learners is, believe more user experience, so UX research. So yeah, we do our best to try to find you guys some educational opportunities that are affordable or accessible or free. So if you know of any of these things, any other events that we should be promoting out there, please let us know. If you're in New York, or if you want to be in New York for CRC, it's happening this week. Sorry. It's happening this week. If you want to go for a one-day event, that's on the 19th, you can email Art Flanagan. He's got some passes for you. That's the 19th. I will be there, as will at least 12 of us, maybe 15, 20 of us from the ICN. And we're trying to find who that is. So if you're going to the if you're going to CRC this week, put that in chat. We'll make sure we follow up with you and get you on a WhatsApp thread or something so that we know. We haven't quite gotten a place to meet up yet, but I will tell you that the last day on the 19th, we will be having a career support center desk right next to the registration desk for Quirk. So come see us, come say hi. Hopefully we can get enough people to get a nice picture together. We're going to figure out something for the 18th, the night before. It may just be meeting up in the lobby and figuring out how we can go split up for dinner. So if you're going to be there, let me know or let us know in the chat or something, and we'll follow up. I want to thank them also. We were able to give a full conference pass the last time. We'll look for more opportunities to do that too. Just like with X Day, Question Pros X Day is happening in Austin on the 3rd and 4th. We have 50 free conference passes to give away. So if you want one of those, make sure you hit that URL down there. We'll get you the code to register. Okay. Melanie, would you like to introduce Marilyn?
I'm very happy to introduce Marilyn. Marilyn Haywood Page is our speaker today on a topic that, according to last week's poll, is very hot and relevant of how to get work while you're looking for a job and how to market yourself as a freelancer. If she looks familiar, it may be because she's been in speaking events, or as part of her history, she has worked at QVC as a presenter. So you may recognize her from there. She's worked at Barnes & Nobles for 10 years, so she's got experience there before she went to QVC. She's also worked with small and medium businesses and founded 2 of her own marketing agencies, as well as getting her master's in integrated marketing communications from West Virginia University. Marilyn lives in Northern Colorado and works as a full-time marketing consultant for her company, Hayward Page, and she takes care of her 88-year-old mother. So welcome, Marilyn.
Marilyn, I think you're on mute.
I did.
Okay,
There you go.
now can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. I realized as I was giving a lot of thought to this talk this weekend that I've spent my life looking for a job and doing other things in the meantime while I'm looking for a job. I looked at the files in my computer and they literally are things like 2007 job search, 2008 job search, 2010 job search, 2012 job search. I mean, I've spent my life in the trenches of, good God, can I just even get arrested at this point? What I have learned over many years of this, and certainly in the last 2 years, I'm going to share with you. I will get to the how, the step 1, the step 2, the step 3. My guess is that you are drowning in how. Write cover letter, network, reach out to your, I would imagine that you're all just drowning in how. So I want to spend a little bit of time today on what I think is the most important thing about your search, which is your mindset. When you're out of work, when you're looking for work, when you've been laid off, when you've been fired, whatever it is. For me, I'll just talk for myself. It was always devastating for me because so much of my definition of myself is what I do. So when you take away what I do, I am struggling. And when I don't have the means to make money, I am struggling on a lot of levels. For me, I have learned over many, many years, and in the last layoff, so I had to lay myself off from the company I founded in 2021. And to say that that was devastating is an understatement. And I was in a panic, and I'm sure some of you are in various states of, oh, great, I don't have to work. This is great. I can do all these things I want to do. Or, oh my God, how am I going to find something? Oh, Jesus. Or the panic of, oh, Jesus, my mortgage is due and I've got X in the bank. And I mean, there's all kinds of stages of where you are emotionally, mentally with this. And I think the most important thing that I can give you, I can how you all over the place. I can tell you 1, 2, and 3. I mean, believe me, I know how to market. That is something I know how to do. But I think more importantly, what I wanted to share with you is you have to get your mind right. And the way that I found most productive in that realm, I have to think of myself outside of my job description. I have to look at myself in my entirety and say, okay, I'm not just someone who's out of work. I am a spirit. I am eternal, immortal, infinite, and universal. That's my belief. I am having this experience right now in a body on the planet right now, but that is not the entirety of who I am. The world is abundant. The world is abundant. You, me, I may not be experiencing abundance at this moment because my mind is going, shit, I need a job. But the truth is, the world is abundant. There is everything in the world and 1,000 and millions of it. The world is abundant. The other thing that happens when you are not in a job and you don't have the definition of this is what I do, this is my job description, this is who I report to, I get paid every 2 weeks. When you don't have that, the other side of, gosh, I don't have that security. The other side of that is possibility. You have possibility now that you didn't have within the confines of the description of the job. And that is a miraculous place to put your mind. When you come from the mindset of the world is abundant, I have been looking and focusing on this one tiny piece of the world that is insights and what are the jobs that are available and who are the people. That is a tiny fraction of the world. The world is abundant. And I have infinite possibility when I see myself as part of that abundance. That is the mindset that I think for me was game changing. Now, let's talk about music for a second. Back when there were music stores, you would walk into a music store and there were categories: classical, jazz, punk, rock. But if you think about music, music does not have those definitions. Music itself is infinite. It's an infinite language. You've heard music that is, well, it's kind of classical, it's kind of jazz, well, there's a little punk in that, well, there's some R&B. Guess what? Corporations decided to label and categorize so that they had a place in the music store, so that you could go into a music store and say, hey, I'm looking for an album. Well, what kind of album? Well, it's classical. So we started to think of music in terms of the categories, because it was a corporation, a bunch of corporations that said, you know what, we got to figure out how to put these things in a store in a way that makes sense, that we can search them. So that's how we started to think about music. We limited what music could be. Job descriptions are the same thing. A job description is so that a corporation can go, okay, here's what it's called, here's what the tasks are, and here's what the dollar value of that is. That's their playbook. It doesn't have to be yours. Their categories, their bullet points, that is their playbook so that they can quantify. It doesn't have to be yours. Whoop, wrong way. The turning point for me in 2021, actually was, I got laid off October 2021. 2022, I was, in a deep depression for the rest of 2021. The turning point for me in my mind was when, and I honestly, I think it was just an intuitive, God force, whatever you want to call it, spoke to me and said, do the work that needs doing. When I said to myself, well, I'm a vice president of marketing and I should be a vice president of marketing and that's what their job, I couldn't get anything. Nothing happened for me. When I shifted and said, you know what? There's a lot of work that needs doing in the world. A lot. And I'm just going to say yes to whatever that is. And I'm not going to make it be, well, it's got to be this, and I have to make this much money, and I have to, all of that, because all of that got me nowhere. When I simply said, okay, I'm just going to surrender to whatever work that needs doing, and I'm going to say yes. And what happened was, someone called me, I had met through MRX Pros or somewhere, and she lived in Colorado, and she said, hey, could we have coffee? And I said, oh my gosh, you live in Colorado? Yes, of course. And she started to talk to me about her branding, her website, her this, her that. Now, in my corporate world, I would have said, well, you're a solopreneur and you can't afford me, and I'm a vice president of marketing. But that little voice said to me, say yes. Say yes. So I did. And I said to her, I will help you. Whatever you can pay me is fine. I will help you. I will help you succeed. I took, she paid me what she could pay me. It was, probably a fifth, a seventh, an eighth of what I would normally get paid in an agency to do the work I did for her. But I needed to feel myself helping someone else. I needed to feel myself saying yes. I needed to feel myself doing the work that needs done. And somehow that mindset opened up a world to me. When I stopped trying to define and say, well, it has to be this, and okay, I'm writing my cover letters and all of that, because we all know how, right? We all know how to do all those things. When that isn't working, when you can't get arrested, think about saying yes to the work that needs doing. A friend of mine I was so impressed with, he's in the market research world, incredibly skilled, incredible pedigree, incredibly skilled. Looking a year. Unemployment has run out. His savings have run out. He took a job as a janitor because that is the work that needed doing, that he could get paid for. And I thought, God, I love him for that. There is dignity in any kind of work. There is self-esteem and value in any kind of work. It's how you come to it. So maybe I'm just talking about myself here. I always felt like if I'm not doing what I was trained to do, what I'm good at, I feel like crap about myself. I have no self-confidence. I just feel like crap. But the truth is, we are so much more. The truth is, there is abundance. The truth is, you are limitless possibilities. That's the truth. So when you are deep in, I'm writing my letters, I'm doing my networking, I'm, all of those things, I want you to take a moment and say, okay, that is the box that corporations needed to have, for their value and their check the boxes and their job descriptions and their bullet point. All of that is one part of reality. It is not the whole, and it is not the whole of me. I am more. I am limitless. I have value, and I will do the work that needs doing and feel my value in the world. That is a very powerful thing. To feel your value in the world, you are that is a superpower. All right. Now I'm going to take you through the how. I want you to get your mind right. Now I'm going to take you through the how. How am I doing on time? Okay. Your purpose. So you're going to, some of you may have already asked this. Some other people may ask this of you. You're going to say, well, wait a minute. Whoa. Are you looking for a job or are you a freelancer? What's happening here? You're one or the other, because people want boxes. People want to put you in a box. So what you're going to say is, I am continuing to develop my skills while I look for a job. I am open to projects that demonstrate my skills and add value while searching for the right fit. You can do both things. I've done both things for decades. All right, here's the nitty-gritty, the how, the 1, 2, 3. For some of you, this is what this is what you came here for. For others of you, you don't need this. You've got how. You're drowning in how. Think on the mindset piece. All right. 3 steps to this. Define the work you can do, right? We like to, again, we like to think of, well, you know, I'm a quantitative and I'm a moderator but break it down. What are all the types of work you can do? Somebody was talking about, you know, I'm really good at research design. I'm really good at moderating. What are the types of things you can do? Now here I've listed, you know, things in market research, but you know what? Maybe you have a hobby that has phenomenal skills, that you've developed phenomenal skills through your photography habit. You know, you can see things, you can define light and dark, and you see things differently. Maybe, you know, you have a hobby, you're a journaler, so you can write without ChatGPT. Think about the things that you can do and break them down. Hard skills and soft skills, right? So the bottom of the list is proactive communication, discovering new solutions. Those are the things you can do. And you don't have to think of them only in the realm of, well, I have to work for a CPG company. Possibility, limitlessness. Identify your audience. Who's your audience? Your former colleagues and bosses, university ties, association contacts, market research firms, who you've worked for, who you want to work for, who you've worked with, who you want to work with. That's your audience. I suspect many of you have already done this, right? Because you're networking and you've probably already done this. But filter this through the lens of possibility. Filter this through the lens of, you know, I am way more than my job description. I have this other value that I bring every day that I've never gotten paid for that, but wow, people value that. Filter it through that and see if your audience doesn't grow. Share your expertise. You are an expert. I don't care if you just got out of school. You're an expert. You have a level of expertise that is valuable because your audience is really big. Don't think of your audience as just the companies you want to work for, right? We want to go from this to this. There are things that you've done. There are clients you've worked for. There are problems you have solved. Make a video about it. Make a case study. Make a white paper. You don't, if confidentiality is a thing, you don't have to say, oh, well, it was for StarKist. It was for, no. For a food company, they had this problem. I did this, my team did this, and this was the outcome. You have those stories to tell. You just have to think through it. You have them. So you can make videos about it. You can make case studies. You make white papers. And honestly, there's a great software called Afori AI, AFFORI.ai, I think, Afori AI. And it's different than the other AIs that I found because it allows me to take research, notes I've written, interview transcripts, load them in, and then aggregate them, and then ask it questions. Or say, hey, write an outline. Given those 3 documents, give me an outline for a case study. So you can take your PowerPoints or whatever, information that you have on that expertise, that the challenge that you solved. You can put it in there and say, hey, here's all these documents. This was a thing that I worked on. Write me an outline for a white paper or a case study, and it'll go, and it will cite the research of where it pulled it from. And then you can ask it questions like, what was the exact quote that that person said about blah? And it'll pull it up. So I use that a lot. That's how you can make this easier for yourself. I'm going to give you a 90-second video formula. video, LinkedIn is now, it's moving to video. The LinkedIn editors are now pushing, video. So the time has come. We have to do more video. Here is a simple formula for doing video that positions you as an expert in a powerful way. You're not, you're not going, oh, please hire me, right? You have value. So the formula is this. Hey, do you ever have trouble with blah, blah, blah? I'm going to tell you how you can deal with blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you 3 ways to blah, blah, blah. Hi, my name is Marilyn Haywood Page. I'm a market research analyst. I'm not, but my name is Dean Stevens, and I'm a market research analyst, and I can add value to your team. Then you go into 45 or 50 seconds of explaining how to solve whatever that challenge is. And then the last thing you say is, hey, if that was helpful, follow me. And when every time you get a new follow, you reach out to that person and you say, hey, you followed me. So glad to meet you. How can I help you? Right? Or if you look at their profile and they are with a company that you'd like to be with, or company you were with, whatever, you be smart about how you respond. Hey, you work at Coca-Cola. I'd really love to apply for a job there. Ask. The other part of this is ask for what you want. You're going to distribute that video. You're going to make it a LinkedIn post. You're going to send it in direct messages to folks that you've interviewed with, folks that you're going to interview with, colleagues, and repost it. Don't be afraid to repost it. Only 16% of LinkedIn users visit every day. Only 16%. That means most people don't. So if you post that every day, only 16% of the entire network will go, oh my God, they posted that again. Well, I doubt that you're friends with 16% of the whole network, right? So just post it. Keep posting it. Last thing I want to tell you about, make an opportunity. Do the work you want to do. If you're, grinding every day over this interview, rewriting and another cover letter, like you're just grinding, you're not feeling your value. You have to feel your value. That is what will get you a job or get you gigs. Feel your value. How do I do that? Do the work you want to do. We live in a time where you can do the work you want to do. You don't have to wait for permission. I say this all the time to my students. If you want to do social media for a company, do social media for a company. Go knock on a door and go, you know what? I want to do your social media. Small companies will go, sure. If there is a type of research, if there is a type of dream project that you would love to do, do it. Find a way to do it for a nonprofit, for a small business. You need to feel your value. You need to demonstrate and express your value in doing the work that you want to do. You open up that possibility in the world. You are telling the world, hey, this is what I do. And the universe goes, oh, okay. And your mindset is now in doing, in value, in demonstrating, not in going, oh, please hire me. You have value. You have power. Just because you don't have a job means nothing in that equation. Nothing. Feel your power. Feel your sovereignty. Find ways to do that. And you will have more work than you know what to do with. And do it now. And the last thing I want to say is find an accountability partner. If you come out of this and you say, you know what, I want to change my mindset, Find an accountability partner. You know what? I'm going to do the work that needs doing. Find an accountability partner. Because it's very easy. We're very isolated. We're like, oh God, I got to. This network is fantastic because it takes that isolation out. Find someone who will hold you accountable. That's important. Who will be your cheerleader. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. Tell me how you're doing. Follow up with me. Hey, I did this. Hey, what should I do about that? Reach out to me. I'm happy to connect with any and all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. It's really, I don't know if you've been watching the chat, but there's a lot of like hands up for you and speaking with passion and understanding, knowing exactly what you're talking about. Here, I see one question in the chat. It is from Sue Collin, Sue, would you like to go ahead and ask it directly?
It would be my pleasure. Nice to see everyone, and thank you so much, Marilyn. Here's my question as I'm listening to all the kernels of truth and beauty that you spoke. Could you just briefly talk about clarity? People sometimes present themselves as being a jack of all trades. And while there's nothing wrong with being a generalist, for sure, in my mind, be careful how you present yourself. That's what I'd like you to talk about, if you could.
Sure. When you try to please everyone, you please no one. When you try to market to everyone, you market to no one. Don't be afraid to decide, you know what? I've always said that I do quant and qual, but God, I hate qual. I really just want to do quant. Then you just lean in. Lean in hard. It's much easier for someone because when someone is hiring, what are they doing? They're looking at 100 resumes and they're trying to eliminate 95 of them. That's what they're doing. They're trying to figure out, how can I say no to 95 of these people? So what's my criteria? Gone, gone, gone. So a generalist, gone.
Sita, I see you have your hand raised.
Hi, thank you, Brian. Marilyn, thank you so much. This was enlightening. I have a question. So I'm in between jobs, and when I'm in between jobs, I take on primary research through my own practice, Ignite Insights Consulting. So far, work just came organically through my network without me marketing. And right now, my priority is still getting that VP job, director job. I may change my mind after your speech today, but so my question is, I was always reluctant to promote my consulting practice because I don't want to confuse the headhunters or recruiters, and the types of jobs I'm after don't come easy. And obviously I couldn't get it for the whole year, right? So any words of wisdom, like how can I promote my primary research practice while not killing my opportunity?
Is your primary research practice the same name as your name?
It's not. It's not. It's on LinkedIn. It's Ignite Insights. My name is different. But should I promote? The problem is my practice is me.
Yeah.
There is no brand equity, right? People come to me because it's me.
Yeah.
So if I just go advertise through Ignite, nobody knows who that is, right?
Yeah.
So it should come from me. So what's the right way of going at both at the same time?
I think this is the quintessential issue that everyone deals with, because let's face it, if you put on your resume, Ignite Insights, a hiring manager looks at that and goes, oh, she's just looking for a job while she's a little dry on the Ignite Insights. And as soon as that picks up, she's out of here. That's what they think. Because again, they are looking at two things. How can I eliminate you from this 100 resumes I'm looking at? So that's like, okay, I can eliminate her. She's a freelancer. She's a consultant. She's not really an employee. That's number one. It's not an easy answer. And I'm not, because it's not an easy answer. How you promote yourself is key. Are you promoting yourself on LinkedIn where anyone can see it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you direct messaging where only the person you're talking to can see it? I think what you want to do is promote your value. Don't, without a name on it. So it's Ignite, it's Seda.
Seda.
So I, Seda, bring this value to my work, to my world, to my coworkers, to companies. This is the value I bring. Tell the stories of the value you bring. It doesn't have to have a name on it. When you're doing those, doing the video, a 90-second video, a white paper, doesn't have to have, Ignite Insights on it. You're just talking about the value you bring. It's tricky. I'm not gonna tell you it's not. It's tricky. I've come across it many times. And in fact, a hiring manager said to me, "Why should I hire you? You've been a consultant for 20 years. You're just going to leave."
Yeah.
So, what I do is, if you are looking for a job, take the consulting off your resume, take it off of LinkedIn, because they're going to look at your LinkedIn, and simply talk about the value you bring.
So far, that consulting helped me explain the holes in the resume.
Yes.
I didn't have issues explaining it because everybody understands we now need some agency in this crazy corporate world, right?
Yeah.
So my question is really about how to market consulting on LinkedIn without confusing the recruiters I'm talking to. It's the other way, really.
Yeah. Okay.
And there may not be an answer.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. I've been thinking
Yogesh,
about
I
it
think,
for 3 years now.
Yogesh has a, what do you think, Yogesh?
I've faced exactly the thing that Siddha's talking about, and I know exactly where you're coming from. So I came to the conclusion, and I'm not saying everybody has to come to the same conclusion, that, you know what, if people are going to get confused and they're going to, pass me over, that's okay. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's okay. The reason is that if somebody truly is interested in you, they're willing to look past this point and they're willing to listen to you in a conversation or email to help you, to have you explain exactly what's going on. So just to give you context, I've had my consultancy for 10 years. And if you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see that I've kept it on, even though I did other corporate jobs over the 10-year period. I spent about 3 to 4 years working in corporate within the 10 years that I was having my consultancy.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it has not been a problem. It really hasn't been a problem. The problem comes in with us as people because we're trying to be very clear in terms of what we want to communicate. So one way to do this is when you position your LinkedIn, right? Where are you positioning your consultancy relative to your current job? Right? Is it the first thing they see, or is it the second thing they see? That's one way to manage that. So there are little tricks like that you can use to be basically kind of keep yourself clear and keep it clear for people who are reading your LinkedIn profile as well. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Thank you both. There is no silver bullet. So
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard conundrum. It is.
thank you.
Thanks for the question.
I think thank you everybody for participating. I think we're